Welcome back to the RSPL Premier League Round Up and a preview. Stephen Stanberry alongside Dwayne Richards from yardisports.com. And before we go into the games on later this evening, let's big up our sponsors, the Premier League Clubs Association, the PLCA. Red Stripe, grab a Red Stripe, start the game. And yardisports.com, we are number one. Now, Dwayne, before the break, we looked at the games that were played on Sunday, all one love affairs. And tonight, some mouth-watering games starting at 5:30 and then at 8 p.m. inside the National Stadium. At 5:30, Tivoli Gardens, they will take on Waterhouse. While at 8 p.m., it's Arnott Gardens versus league leaders and the first qualifiers for the playoff rounds, UAFC. Dwayne, first game, Tivoli versus Waterhouse.
Tivoli will not be happy to be playing this match. They've played twice on Monday night and they've lost both games.
Yes.
So they won't be overly happy about having to play there. I think that Waterhouse will be looking at that omen and will be saying, I hope that we can continue that trend for Tivoli Gardens and actually get a win, because they have lost 2 on the trot after looking good and looking like they were climbing out of danger. They lost 2 on the trot, that's Waterhouse, and they've been pulled back in, they reeled back into the relegation battle. So they'll be hoping that the National Stadium will be a good place for them, a good omen, and they can get 3 points. But it won't be easy, because Tivoli Gardens is a team that is one of the top 6 teams and a team that is looking to win the league.
Yes.
So they'll be trying to shake off that omen. But footballers are very superstitious. But they'll be trying to shake off that omen and get a win tonight, because the fact of the matter is that Tivoli has lost to UWI and has lost to Montego Bay United, the 2 top 6 teams. They want to get that off of them, and get back to winning ways, because at this point in time, you need to be able to beat anybody. And they were doing that before, but it's not now.
Right. And the teams have met twice so far this season. Waterhouse taking the first one 1-0, while Tivoli getting revenge in the second game, also by a 1-0 margin. Is that a prediction for tonight, 1-0? Or we should expect fireworks inside the stadium?
What it says is that there isn't a lot much between the two teams, and that's true. The players know each other inside out. The coaches know each other inside out. Admiral Bailey, the coach of Waterhouse, was a coach at Tivoli Gardens, so he knows the ins and outs of that club. So there won't be a lot between the two teams, and a 1-0 scoreline will be in keeping with what we saw yesterday.
Right, and we know Jermaine Jedit Johnson, he's been leading the goal-scoring charts, not just for Tivoli, but for the Red Stripe Premier League. And let's hear from one of his teammates, Romain Breckenridge of Tivoli Gardens.
Despite we're not at our best of form now, we scored basically the most goals in the Premier League so far, 39. Despite Teddy Johnson not being pressured, he's Teddy Johnson. He's basically a player who can pop up at any time. I expect him to pop up at any time and showcase his talent as he normally do for Tivoli Gardens. Despite our form has been fluctuating at the third round, we need 3 points in the day, and we will get 3 points because we are Tivoli Gardens.
There you have it, Romain Breckenridge, and he said we are Tivoli Gardens, but they'll try to break the curse of Monday Night Football,
yes.
Looking for their first victory inside the stadium. Yeah,
Breckenridge, he's the captain of the team. Omar Edwards made him the captain. He's a young player. He's learning his craft, but it has helped him. The captain armband has helped him, and the whole Tivoli team, and Teddy Johnson will look at the scoring chart and realize that Nicholson has closed the gap on him, and he'll be looking to open it back up, because the goal-scoring race in and of itself has been a very interesting one.
Right. Another player that could be on show tonight is Nikolai Finlayson of Waterhouse, and he says his team is confident of getting the 3 points.
Yeah, really confident of the 3 points. When we play Marlborough last and play Marlborough in the last one, it's that a rival game, but come Monday night, it's a bigger rival, Waterhouse and Tivoli. As you know, we have some former Tivoli players, former coach in Tivoli.
Nikolai Finlayson of Waterhouse, your thoughts?
It should be a very good game, and like Nikolai said, there are players now at Waterhouse that used to be at Tivoli.
Yes.
And vice versa. So there isn't a lot between the players, and the energy, you will expect a high energy inside the National Stadium. Tonight there'll be a lot to prove. Both teams need the 3 points for different reasons. Waterhouse, they're still in the relegation zone. They have to fight tooth and nail. They'll need these 3 points tonight, so they'll be playing like a team that needs it.
Yeah.
Tivoli Gardens needs 3 points for more than one reason. They still want to win the $1 million, which you get from finishing at the top of the league. It's not out of their realms. And just to get away from that double loss, that back-to-back loss, for those reasons, they too will be looking to get 3 points. So it's going to be an all-out affair tonight. And I'm expecting it to end up in a 1-0.
1-0?
Yeah.
Low score,
It's going to be another. It's going to be another. The games at the stadium have produced goals.
Goals, yes.
Yeah, but these two teams haven't been scoring a lot of goals. And the first set of matches was 2-1. So a 1-0 scoreline in keeping with what happened yesterday wouldn't be surprised to me. I would go with Tivoli tonight.
Right, and let's jump into the other game. This one will be played at 8 p.m. and it sees Arnett Gardens, who are in 6th position. They'll take on league leaders UWIFC. And we have Coach Jerome Waite on the line. But before we go to him, let's hear from Kemar Daly of UWIFC.
Well, we just have to remain focused and try to be consistent. You know what I mean? We're not getting big-headed. You know what I mean? We're just staying grounded and do the usual things. You know, what has been working for us, which is to work hard and take each game at a time.
All right, there you have it, Kemar Daly of UWIFC. Dwayne, your thoughts for tonight?
This one is going to be very, very interesting. UWI enjoys playing at the National Stadium. Arnett Gardens, they need 3 points. It's going to be more than one goal, I think, in that particular match. But I'm going to go with UWI. I think that they are the form team. And a win for them tonight will not be a surprise for me.
All right, let's get going and speak to Coach Jerome Waite.
How are you doing? How is the team preparing for tonight?
Well, the team is pretty much in good stead. They have been working seriously over the past week, or the past couple of days leading up to this game. And, you know, we're looking forward to an exciting game. I mean, it's the best thing to see, you know, quality football playing at the National Stadium. And Arnett Garden is one team that always prove themselves when they're at the stadium.
Yes, that's true. Arnett Gardens relishes playing at the National Stadium. You play up-tempo, quality football on that big, expansive pitch. In terms of injuries, are there any injuries to worry about tonight?
No, definitely not. We don't have any injuries to worry about. And, you know, we just have one player out, which is Dasha Satchwell. But despite that, we have a competent replacement because, you know, since the start of the season, we have not, you know, feed our strongest team. And, you know, we are still looking forward to the team to continue. One thing you must understand, the farm team of this round is the Arnett Garden team.
Yes.
The fact that we still have a game in hand is basically the two teams that currently have done well in this round.
All right, Coach, the first meeting between UWI, they won it 3-2, and the second game, Arnett took that one 5-3. And we know the stadium has produced a lot of goals so far this season. Could we see a number of goals tonight, similar to your last game versus UWI?
Well, you will definitely see a number of goals. UWI is a team, they have been doing extremely well, you know, and I applaud them. But despite that, they're up against an Arnett Garden team that has been rejuvenated and looking forward to great things leading up to the end of this round.
Yes, Coach, the word's rejuvenated. I agree with you. The team looked a shot of themselves earlier this season, but you've been able to put it together and to really, you know, get some good football played on the pitch and good results. What would you credit to the turnaround in the form of the Arnett Gardens team?
Well, one of the things, you know, in the transfer market, you know, players whose vibes were broken based on what took place earlier in the season with the financial part of the team, you know, differed. As a result of that, you know, some players was asked to move on, and then we filtered with other players in which those players who have came in, they have done extremely well, and that has really made a difference.
Okay, so you'll be saying that this team now tonight is rearing to go and in the hunt for 3 points?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Coach. This point of the season is, you'd describe it as Arnett's time, that when you go on your good run and march towards the final. This new format puts you in the playoffs at the moment, the playoff round, the positions. If we're sticking to the old format, you'd be outside of it now. How important?
Well, not to think about the past.
Yes.
I mean, they have changed the format. So that's the present. So don't think about the past.
No, Coach, I'm not going to think about it.
The fact that you're mentioning it, you don't need to mention
no,
that.
Hold on, Coach.
Remember, top 4 advance in the past. Well, you know, when that time comes, we are always a part of the top 4. And we are still we are still roaring to reach the top 2 based on the amount of games we have, as what O'Neal Bigger Thompson spoke to you about earlier.
Coach, you could just allow me, I was going to ask, how important is this for the development of football in Jamaica?
The new format?
Yes.
I mean, the new format, it doesn't have nothing to do with development. It's just that they come up with another thing in that instead of you have the top 4 team advance to the semi-final, they try to put 2 additional teams to get, 2 additional games for both teams to play in that regard. So that also will bring in a little more revenue where, the opponents will be coming out, looking forward to the respective team that they support to be doing well.
The frame of mind of the team now, Coach, based on where you sit, based on where we are at this stage of the season, does this Arnett Gardens team think that they can go all the way?
We can go all the way, but we have 6 more games to play, and we're going to take it one step at a time. The thing is, continue winning, moving up the table, and see what can happen at the end of the last game of this round.
Okay, and that will build the confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Coach, we're out of time, and thank you so much for being on the Red Stripe Premier League Roundup and Preview.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. That was Coach Jerome Waite of Arnett Gardens, and remember, they play UAFC inside the National Stadium at 8 p.m. And before that, at 5:30, it's Tivoli Gardens versus Waterhouse. Dwayne, your final thought?
I think it will be 2 good games tonight. The fans, it will be worth it. Even if it's raining, it will be worth it to go out and watch the games. We're starting to get some high-quality games inside the stadium because people are getting to play the best football on a really good pitch. So it should be interesting tonight. And let's see how the cookie crumbles. And we'll know definitely who the top 6 are by the end of the night.
Right, before we go, you made a prediction for 1-0 for the first game. Your prediction on the second game?
It's the second game, 3-2. Yui.
3-2.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you, Dwayne, but I'll leave it until next week when we have this conversation yet again. And that's where we leave it inside the Red Stripe Premier League Roundup and a Preview. I'm Stephen Stanberry. Good afternoon. And the Red Stripe Premier League Roundup and a Preview was sponsored by the Premier League Clubs Association, the PLCA. Red Stripe, grab a red stripe, start the game. And yardisports.com. Yardi Sports is Jamaica's #1 sports website, featuring Jamaican and international sports stories. At Yardi Sports, we tell the untold stories as we unveil hidden Jamaican sporting talents. For the best in sports, for detailed coverage, for the best images and information of Jamaican athletes locally and globally, it's Yardi Sports. Yardisports.com. We are #1.